every movie has random trivia. And here at Trivial Theater, I explore some of these movies and the random circumstances that make them the weird creations that we love. It's been over a year since I last tackled a shitty shark movie, but it seemed time to dive back into those shark-infested waters to take on another beauty from the Asylum. It features not one, but two big pointy-toothed monsters duking it out under the sea. Get your chum buckets ready for 2014's Megashark vs. Mecha Shark. We start with... wait. Where's the bikini-clad, gore-filled intro, Asylum? Are you feeling okay? Anyway, we dive into drone stock footage shots complete with... music. And I gotta say, it feels a little early to be pulling out that level of action music stinger. Oh wait, there's a massive CGI iceberg being pulled into the port at Alexandria, Egypt. That's a good sign, right? I have so many follow-up questions. Where did this giant iceberg come from? Surely it couldn't have floated that far south. Is Egypt that low on ice cubes? And my biggest question, does it contain the last airbender, or is it just a giant shark that will wreak vengeance and kill a ton of people? The iceberg quickly reveals the answer, and the tugboat guys figure out pretty quickly that they're going to need a bigger iceberg. The giant shark, or Mega Shark as we should probably call him, eats a tugboat and destroys a Sphinx. I gotta ask what it did to deserve such a fate. That seems a tad unfair. Anyway, we get a long-ass stock footage montage and the first of many environmental messages, mixed in with a lot of people turning to the most trusted source for information, which is of course, newspaper. Megashark 1.0 is introduced with a classic description.
It looks like a shark, but it certainly doesn't handle like one.
As Rosie and onboard AI Nero flirt.
I appreciate symmetry, Rosie.
I like that in my men.
But we're quickly reminded.
Yeah, Nero loves his geometric figures.
By her husband Jack, who's rockin' one hella cool gamer setup. Later at the UN research facility, a vehicle that is clearly not an Audi approaches. They're introduced to Mecha Shark 2.0 and proceed to engage in a word salad of phrases.
Intermediate alloy steel. The pectoral pods are now fitted with a complement of UGM-133 Trident II ballistic torpedoes.
Followed up by a buffet of environmental messages.
Oh, it is great. That means this puppet can defend itself without having to ruin our oceans with nuclear waste. You know, radioactive material was banned by the London Convention of '72, then again in '73.
And this weird conversation killer.
It's like being a vegan.
But if I was...
There's a time and a place.
Elsewhere, a fishing boat with a side of lobster is enjoyed by Megashark, and a reporter for Anne interviews a well-cast grizzled fisherman. We get the first in a series of button-pressing montages, a ton of joystick action, and... an expulsion? A sub is attacked by Megashark, which leads to a wet t-shirt contest gone horribly wrong, and all hands are lost. Megashark goes on to give Mecha Shark a love tap and disappears into the darkness. Rosie prepares to pursue, bringing only the essentials for hunting megalodons, including a bottle of booze. We find out that these bathrooms have the Navy's seal of approval, and Megashark has a Free Willy moment at the expense of an oil rig. There's a massive fight between the Admiral and Jack over pursuing Megashark versus taking care of an impending oil spill. But Rosie ends the fight quickly by just closing the pipe herself. Both Mega and Mecha Shark believe they can fly, as they reach the heights of a 727 cruising over restricted airspace. Back in the water, the fight continues as Mega Shark bitch slaps a torpedo, causing it to head for the biggest ship around, and another wet t-shirt contest ends horribly as all hands are lost. Weirdly, we don't even get a no from the Admiral. Rosie goes balls out and fires on the Mega Shark, but ends up getting buried under a pile of rock. Nero guides the ship back to safety, and despite everything, Rosie's makeup stays on point. Nero takes control and is sent back after Mega Shark, which leads to him going offline and Mecha Shark going rogue. In the meantime, an unconscious Rosie relives a sad events montage, and when she comes to, she makes the tough decision to dump the booze, which of course has been a massive plot point throughout this movie. A scientist, last seen in Megashark vs. Giant Octopus, tells the trio that Megashark is just looking for love in his old stomping grounds, which just happens to be Sydney Harbor. Funny how it always comes back to sex. As a 200-foot horny Megashark makes his way to Australia, an out-of-control Mecha Shark is headed there too. Rosie and Jack both arrive to coordinate things, but Rosie gets sidetracked in the search for a 6-year-old. Evacuation of the city continues, with the exception of stock footage crowds around the very place where the Megashark is headed. The two sharks duke it out, and Megashark is yeeted onto the Sydney Opera House, which causes him to go a little mad. He pulls a Transformers move and becomes a shark tank. No, not that Shark Tank. I think Mecha Shark just wanted Hungry Jack because he heads straight for one, leaving us to play a rousing game of Spot the Shark Tank. We get a hero shot without the bad boy attitude or cred, and then the movie literally jumps the shark. At this point, I gotta say, this movie is testing my suspension of disbelief. The Admiral calls out the cowardly Megashark.
Come on up here! We're not done with you yet!
And in a battle of handgun versus giant sharp pointy teeth, I gotta wonder who's gonna win. Oh, well there you go. Rose and Jack get control of Mecha Shark and set it to explode, drawing Mecha Shark in with Chum. The couple make it to shore just as Mecha Shark comes a little too hard and explodes all over everybody. Yay! Happy ending as our heroes walk into the distance. Forget about the massive amount of civilian and military casualties, damage to property and infrastructure. Just drop a passionate kiss and everything's good. So Mega Shark vs. Mecha Shark is the third movie in the Mega Shark franchise. The Asylum developed the sequel after they realized the growing popularity of the character, including an online petition for a third chapter in the series. It features 90s pop star and sci-fi regular Debbie Gibson, as well as Christopher Judge and Elizabeth Rome. The first draft was written in 4 days, with a total of 9 drafts coming out over the next 2 months because of numerous notes from producers, which included the destruction of the Sphinx by tugboat. So, with the understanding that Mega Shark vs. Mecha Shark isn't meant to be that deep, I gotta say I was hoping for a little more depth than a puddle. Rosie, Jack, and the Admiral are put out there as our 3 most important characters, but honestly not one of them is given a story arc that shows us any kind of depth. Like everything else in the movie, they just kinda go here and say that without any deeper point than because the script said to do it. And that's definitely more on the script than it is on the actors in this case. The quote, emotional subplots like Rosie's drinking and the missing girl are thrown in without any context or follow-up. And despite all the epic shit that's going on, things exploding, massive amounts of death, it feels like it was just going through the motions. I'm pretty sure that Jack typing had as much emotional impact as the loss of the Admiral's vessel. The stakes are said to be so high, but everything was just glossed over. Even the climax, which should have been massive in scope, given it reflects the name of the fucking movie. Now, I've seen my fair share of Asylum Shark movies and reviewed a couple on this channel, and this one is very middle of the road for me. But that in itself is kind of the issue. Not everything can or should be Sharknado, but it feels like it was tossed together and sent on its merry way. It's got some solid basics and some fun ideas, but that's kind of it. The thing that makes Asylum movies really enjoyable is their ability to dazzle with stupid awesomeness, and here it goes mostly flat. I can say that a giant shark on tank treads making its way through Sydney made me chuckle. This Mega Shark belly flop deserves about an 8 out of 10. And the sheer number of joystick close-ups feels like someone fulfilling some kind of fetish. Also, for once, we didn't have an 8-foot shark shown swimming under half a foot of water. So, that's progress, I guess. I'll leave it at this. If you enjoy Asylum Shark movies, you'll enjoy this as a middle of a sci-fi shark marathon. But otherwise, maybe consider going with something more entertaining like Ghost Shark, or Six-Headed Shark, or Ice Shark, or Trailer Park Shark, or Jurassic Shark. You get the idea. So what do you think? Suggestions for movies, trivial questions, comments, ratings, and more riveting joystick action would be appreciated. Thank you so very much for watching.